Danganronpa the Animation, based on a game of the same name, focuses on 13 elite high school students who are locked into a school and forced to kill each other to escape. After a murder occurs, the innocent must find out who the culprit is to survive themselves when they go through a trial. The setup of the story was very captivating and interesting, but it felt rushed. Seeing as they jammed a 25-hour game into a 13-episode series, it's to be expected. But it was still pretty good. It met all the necessary criteria to be one of the best of the season, but was executed poorly because they were crippled by time restrictions. Overall, it was an enjoyable mystery that wasn't as fleshed out as it needed to be. Sermonix Service, an original slice-of-life anime that takes place in a work environment. Now, when anyone thinks of an office environment, they think, well, boring. But Sermonix Service makes the setting the best part of the show that's completely original to the anime genre and brings a breath of fresh air to the slice-of-life genre. It's a show that completely revolves around the character interactions. Every character is extremely unique and entertaining to watch, and then add the romance aspect, and what comes with romance? Drama! But this show is a lighthearted comedy, so the drama isn't exactly serious, but more humorous. To sum it all up, Sermonix Service is just a simple, lighthearted watch that is absolutely hilarious. Blood Lad, a story that follows Staz, a vampire boss of the demon world. Sounds super serious, right guys? Well, not really. It's actually a supernatural comedy. It focuses on Staz trying to bring a young, pretty human girl that ended up in the demon world named Yumi back to life. Staz himself isn't some badass vampire, but actually a lazy otaku. Kind of a weird duo that you just eventually fall in love with. Despite Blood Lad having an actual plot, it usually focuses on a more lighthearted and humorous atmosphere. The fights were also interesting, but overall lackluster because Staz is overpowered as fuck. Other than that, the supernatural element of the show was well done and it was pretty creative. Overall, Blood Lad is just an extremely enjoyable watch and I think you should give it a shot. Free! Probably the most controversial anime of the year. But why is that? Perhaps it's because of it being about a group of boys that start up a swim team. Nah. Is it because it's a generic rival versus rival theme? Nah. Then what is it? It's the plot. The plot. Who the fuck am I kidding? It's the abs, the delicious, delicious biceps, the triceps. It's bloody man service. And it's absolutely ridiculous that this is even controversial. Just let the chicks, and me, get some eye candy. Now, the show is actually pretty good, excluding the fan service. The visuals are utterly stunning and are absolutely beautiful, and an anime about competitive swimming probably couldn't be done any better than by Kyoto Animation. It's just entertaining. Get over it and go watch some ecchi. Love Lab, a comedy, let me emphasize that, a comedy, about an all-girls school student council that secretly researches how to make boys fall for them with no prior love experience. Now you're probably asking yourself, Glenn, why'd you put a moe slice-of-life comedy at number 6? I did it because I love every genre of anime, and I love moe included. I love moe, I love moe, I love men moe. The fuck? In all seriousness, Love Lab is unpredictable, has well-developed and amazing characters that you'll fall in love with easily. It's an anime that progresses beautifully, and an ending that nearly brought me to tears. Love Lab was absolutely brilliant, and I'm sure you'll love it as much as I did. High School DxD New, the ecchi show with plot! And you know, regular plot too, but mostly plot! Said plot revolves around Issei Hyodo and his battle against fallen angels and other antagonists after being turned into a devil. But back to the main point, the plot was great as usual. With new characters entering the fray this season, new sets of plot, both small and large, took High School DxD to a new level of badassery. Oh yeah, and there was holy swords and stuff too, but who cares about that? Plot! Watamote, an anime that makes you feel extremely uncomfortable while still being utterly hysterical. Actually, uncomfortable is kind of an understatement. It had some of the most awkward situations I've ever witnessed that made me cringe so hard that I felt embarrassed myself. It's difficult to watch, and I wouldn't blame you if you couldn't handle this fucking show. It's about Tomoko Kiriki, who's a high school student girl who wants to be accepted by her peers, to be popular. The only problem is she's an antisocial teenager who I can relate to a lot more than I'd like to admit. She has trouble talking to people and has no sense of how to handle social situations at all. It hits a bit close to home with its morbid humor, but if you can get past the cringe-inducing awkwardness, you'll find Watamote absolutely hysterical, but at the same time, somewhat depressing. If you're planning on watching this, tread carefully and be ready to pause the fucking video. The World God Only Knows Season 3, or The Goddess Arc, an extremely incredible anime that has genuine emotion and intelligent comedic writing that creates a meaningful love story. Well, multiple love stories in this case. And the only reason this isn't number 1 is because it was a bit rushed. Not rushed enough that someone who hasn't read the manga would even notice, but regardless, it was still amazing. It packs so much depth and development into every character without taking any substance away from the story, in only 12 episodes. And of course there's Keima, the God of Conquest, one of my favorite main characters of all time. Basically, if you haven't watched The World God Only Knows, watch it. You don't need a reason to fall in love with The World God Only Knows. The biggest surprise that came with the summer season, Kami-sama no Inai Nishiyobi. The setting of Kami-sama no Inai is that of one where God has abandoned the world, leaving behind all kinds of side effects that trouble the remaining people of the world. I can't exactly delve into the story without spoilers, so I'll keep it brief. The story was extremely complex and original, the characters were all diverse and absolutely lovable. The art and animation was absolutely superb. To sum it all up, it was fucking awesome. I'm holding back from going on for like a 10-minute rant about how much I adore this show, so definitely go watch this and be blown away. Monogatari, the second season. As expected from Shaft, colorful and absolutely beautiful artwork that consistently stuns me. And of course the best part of the show, the interactions between the unique and awesome characters. Monogatari always has intelligent and heavy dialogue between the characters that is always the most entertaining part of the show. It's essentially a verbal performance with visual support, and awesome fucking visuals as always. But setting aside the awesomeness that Monogatari is, let's address the fact that I am a huge fanboy of everything Monogatari, and I might be overhyping the unique and complex thing that Monogatari is, but regardless, I will defend it as my number 1 until the end. And do you want to know why? Because I fucking love Monogatari. Hey guys, Glenn here, and I thought I'd tell you, I made a Twitter, so we can do the tweets, the twats, the twits, whatever you do's on the Twitters. If you has a Twitters, follow me on the Twitters and we tweets, and I don't know what I'm saying, Twitter. Thanks for watching.